Before you try to please the whole world today, pause for a moment and ask yourself one question. When was leave for yourself, not for others? These words sound simple, but they carry the weight of a lifetime. Most of us wake up every morning wearing invisible chains, chains made of expectations, chains made of comparisons, chains made of fear. We ask ourselves before we even open our eyes, what will they think? And slowly, without realizing it, we forget to ask the most important question of all. What do I feel? What do I want? What does my soul need today? From the moment we are born, the world starts writing our script. Be this, don't be that, choose this path, avoid that dream, speak softly, stand straight, don't fall, don't fail, don't disappoint, and so we learn to perform. We learn to smile even when our heart is tired. We learn to say yes when every cell inside us is screaming no. We learn to live a life that looks good from the outside but feels empty on the inside. Living for others may earn you applause, but it will steal your peace. It may give you approval, but it will drain your identity. And one day, when the noise fades and the crowd goes home, you will be left alone with a life that doesn't feel like yours. You were not born to be a copy. You were not created to be a background character in someone else's story. You were born with a heartbeat that carries a unique rhythm, a voice that deserves to be heard, and a purpose that cannot be fulfilled by anyone else. When you silence yourself to keep others comfortable, the world loses something irreplaceable. There is a quiet pain in living for others. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It whispers when you choose a career you hate because it looks respectable. It whispers when you stay in relationships that shrink you because you are afraid of being judged. It whispers when you postpone your dreams, telling yourself someday, while someday keeps moving further away. And the most dangerous part, you get used to it, you call it responsibility, you call it sacrifice, you call it maturity, but deep down your soul knows the truth. Sacrifice should never mean self-erasure. Responsibility should not mean self-abandonment. Maturity does not mean killing your dreams quietly so others can sleep peacefully. Living for yourself is not selfish, it is honest, it is brave, it is an act of respect toward the life you were given. When you live for yourself, you are not hurting others. You are simply refusing to hurt yourself anymore. You see, the world will always have opinions. If you succeed, they will talk. If you fail, they will talk. If you rise, they will question. If you fall, they will judge. Their voices will never stop. So the question is not how to silence them. The question is why you let them control you. People will love you for fitting into their expectations, but they will never know the real you. And if they never know the real you, what kind of love is that? Conditional love is a cage. It says you can be yourself, but only to a point. Real freedom begins the moment you decide that your worth is not up for public voting. Living for yourself means listening to your inner voice even when it trembles. It means choosing growth over comfort. It means understanding that disappointing others is sometimes the price you pay for not disappointing yourself. There will be days when choosing yourself feels lonely. There will be nights when you question your decision. There will be moments when the old fear returns, whispering, "What if they leave? Let them." Anyone who only stays when you betray yourself was never meant to walk with the real you. When you live for yourself, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage becomes a mirror. Your authenticity becomes a light. You stop competing, comparing, and performing. You start existing, fully, honestly, fearlessly. You don't need to explain your healing. You don't need to justify your boundaries. You don't need to apologize for evolving. The strongest people are not those who carry everyone's expectations on their shoulders. They are the ones who learn when to put them down. Your life is not a rehearsal. There is no second version waiting backstage. This moment, this breath, this heartbeat, this is it. And if you spend it trying to please everyone else, you may wake up one day and realize you never truly lived at all. So choose yourself, choose your peace. Choose your truth, even if your voice shakes, even if your path looks different. Even if the world doesn't clap right away, because at the end of the day, you don't owe the world a performance. You owe yourself a life. The last time you chose yourself without feeling guilty. Living for yourself is a journey, not a switch you flip overnight. It is unlearning years of conditioning. It is questioning beliefs that were handed to you as truth, but never felt right in your heart. It is standing in front of the mirror and meeting yourself again, sometimes for the very first time. Most people don't ignore themselves on purpose. They are taught to. They are taught that being good means being quiet, that being strong means being silent, that being successful means being acceptable. Slowly, the real self gets buried under layers of shoulds and musts. And one day, you wake up feeling tired without knowing why. Because carrying a life that isn't yours is exhausting. When you live for others, you measure your worth by reactions. A smile means you're enough. A frown means you failed. A compliment lifts you. A criticism crushes you. You become emotionally homeless, constantly seeking shelter in other people's approval. And the problem with living like that is simple. Approval is unstable. It changes with moods, trends, and convenience. Living for yourself means building a home inside you, a place where you feel safe even when the world disapproves, a place where your value does not fluctuate based on someone else's opinion, a place where your mistakes are lessons, not life sentences. This path requires courage because the moment you start choosing yourself, resistance appears. People get uncomfortable, not because you are wrong, but because your growth challenges their control. Your boundaries feel like rejection to those who benefited from your silence. Your confidence feels like arrogance to those who relied on your self-doubt, and that's okay. You are not responsible for managing other people's emotions at the cost of your own. You are not required to stay small so others can feel big. You are not obligated to remain the version of yourself that was convenient for everyone else. There is a quiet power in saying, "This is who I am becoming," and not aggressively, not defensively, just honestly. Some people will walk away, let them. Some doors will close, let them. Closed doors often protect you from rooms where you were never valued. Living for yourself means redefining success. Success is not just money, titles, or applause. Success is waking up without hating the life you're living. Success is choosing peace over chaos, alignment over approval, truth over pretending. It also means accepting that growth is uncomfortable. You will grieve the old version of yourself, the people pleaser, the fixer, the one who said yes even when it hurt. Let that grief come. It is not weakness. It is proof that you are changing. Choosing yourself does not mean you stop caring about others. It means you stop abandoning yourself for them. You can love deeply without losing yourself. You can give generously without emptying your soul. You can support others without standing in the shadow of their expectations. Your voice matters, even when it is soft, even when it shakes, especially when it tells the truth. Speak it, honor it, trust it. There will be moments when fear tries to pull you back, fear of being judged, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being alone. But remember this, being alone with yourself is far better than being surrounded by people who don't see you. Living for yourself means listening to your intuition when logic argues and the world disagrees. It means trusting that inner pull even when the path ahead is unclear. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the next honest step. Every time you choose yourself, you heal a part of you that learned to survive by shrinking. Every time you honor your truth, you rewrite your story, not loudly, not dramatically, but permanently. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to change your direction. You are allowed to outgrow spaces, people, and dreams that no longer fit. Growth does not ask for permission. The world may not understand your journey. That's okay. It's not their journey to understand. It's yours to live, and the more you live for yourself, the lighter your heart becomes. The clearer your purpose feels, the stronger your spirit grows, because the moment you stop living for others is the moment you finally start living at all. Living for yourself means facing the truth you've been avoiding. It means admitting where you are unhappy, even if you've pretended for years that everything is fine. It means understanding that survival mode is not the same as living. Many people survive their entire lives and call it loyalty, patience, or strength. But your soul knows the difference. There comes a moment when pretending becomes heavier than the fear of change. That moment is sacred. That moment is your awakening. It's when your inner voice stops whispering and starts demanding to be heard. Ignore it, and it turns into regret. Honor it, and it becomes your guide. You were never meant to fit into every place you entered. Some spaces were only meant to teach you what you are not. Some people were only meant to show you what you no longer need. Holding on out of fear does not make you loyal, it makes you trapped. Living for yourself requires radical honesty, not cruelty, not rebellion, but honesty. Honest about what drains you, honest about what fulfills you, honest about who you become when no one is watching. Ask yourself, who am I when I stop performing? Who am I when I stop explaining? Who am I when I stop seeking validation? That person is your truth. And truth has a way of unsettling those who benefited from your silence. They may accuse you of changing. Smile. Growth always looks like betrayal to those who expected you to stay the same. You don't owe anyone the old version of you. You don't owe consistency to pain. You don't owe comfort to expectations that suffocate you. Living for yourself also means forgiving yourself, forgiving the years you spent lost, forgiving the choices you made from fear, forgiving the times you chose acceptance over authenticity. You did the best you could with what you knew then. Be gentle with that version of you. It survived so this version could rise. There is power in choosing yourself quietly. You don't need to announce your boundaries. You don't need to justify your healing. You don't need permission to protect your peace. Silence can be strength when it comes from clarity, not fear. As you grow, you will notice something beautiful. The right people don't need you to shrink. They don't feel threatened by your confidence. They don't ask you to explain your worth. They celebrate your becoming. Living for yourself teaches you discernment. You stop chasing connection and start choosing alignment. You stop forcing bonds and start allowing resonance. You realize that not everyone deserves access to your energy. This journey will test you. Old patterns will try to pull you back. Familiar pain will tempt you because it feels known. But remember, comfort is not always safety. Sometimes comfort is just familiarity with suffering. Choose the unfamiliar peace. Choose the unknown growth. Choose the life that feels true, even if it scares you. You are not too much. You are just giving too much to places that gave too little back. You are not selfish for choosing rest. You are not dramatic for choosing boundaries. You are not weak for choosing yourself. Living for yourself is not about perfection. You will stumble. You will doubt. You will question your path. That's part of becoming. Strength is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite it. Every step you take toward your truth creates space. Space to breathe. Space to heal. Space to dream again. And one day you will look back and realize the bravest thing you ever did was stop asking the world who you should be, and start listening to yourself instead. That is freedom. Living for yourself means learning to sit with discomfort without running back to old cages. Freedom feels strange at first. When you have lived your whole life adjusting, explaining, shrinking, and pleasing, peace can feel unfamiliar. Silence can feel loud. Space can feel scary. But that does not mean you are doing something wrong. It means you are doing something new. There will be moments when you miss the old version of you, not because it was better, but because it was familiar. Familiar pain has a strange pull. It whispers, "At least you know me." But growth asks you to trust a future you cannot yet recognize. Living for yourself means accepting that not everyone will clap when you choose your own path. Some will misunderstand you. Some will gossip. Some will project their fears onto your courage. Let them. Their reactions are reflections of their limitations, not your mistakes. You don't need to prove your worth by exhausting yourself. You don't need to earn rest by burning out. You don't need to justify joy by suffering first. You are allowed to want more. Not more things, but more peace, more meaning, more alignment. Choosing yourself also means redefining love. Love is not control. Love is not guilt. Love is not fear of abandonment. Real love does not demand that you disappear to keep it alive. Real love expands you. It allows you to breathe. It does not punish you for becoming. When you live for others, love feels heavy. When you live for yourself, love feels honest. You will start to notice how your body responds when you are aligned. Your shoulders relax. Your breath deepens. Your heart feels lighter. These are signs. Listen to them. Your body often knows the truth before your mind accepts it. Living for yourself means saying no without guilt and yes without fear. It means choosing presence over perfection. It means understanding that you are not behind in life. You were just busy surviving. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to speak your truth. You are allowed to rest without explanation. You are allowed to dream again, even if those dreams look different now. And yes, some relationships will change, some will end, grieve them, honor what they were, but do not chain yourself to the past out of loyalty to pain. Growth requires release. Living for yourself teaches you resilience, not the loud kind that screams strength, but the quiet kind that trusts itself. The kind that does not panic when things fall apart because it knows how to rebuild. You begin to understand that failure is not a verdict, it is feedback. That mistakes are not proof of unworthiness, they are proof of effort. That setbacks are not signs to quit, they are invitations to realign. When you stop living for others, you stop asking for permission to exist as you are. You stop waiting for validation to move forward. You stop delaying happiness for a future that may never come. You start living now. And in living now, you discover something powerful. Your life was never meant to be perfect. It was meant to be true. You don't need to become someone else to be worthy. You don't need to erase your past to deserve a future. You don't need to silence your pain to be strong. Living for yourself means embracing your story, scars and all, and saying, "This is mine." And that ownership, that quiet, unshakable ownership, is where real power lies. Living for yourself is the final act of courage. It is the moment you stop negotiating with your soul. It is the day you realize that your life is not a compromise, not a favor, not a performance. It is a gift, and gifts are meant to be opened, not hidden. One day you will look back and understand why everything had to break the way it did. Why certain doors closed, why some people left, why some dreams changed shape, not to punish you but to redirect you. Not to weaken you but to wake you up. Living for yourself does not mean life becomes easy. It means life becomes honest, and honesty, though uncomfortable at first, is lighter than living a lie. You will still face challenges. You will still feel fear, you will still have moments of doubt, but now you face them as yourself, not as a version crafted to please others, and that makes all the difference. There is a deep peace that comes when your inner world matches your outer choices. When your words align with your values, when your actions reflect your truth, that peace is priceless. No applause can replace it, no approval can compete with it. You will learn to trust yourself again. Your decisions, your instincts, your timing. You will stop asking everyone else what you should do and start asking yourself what feels right. And the answers may surprise you with their clarity. Living for yourself means you no longer measure your life by milestones set by others. You stop racing imaginary timelines. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You move at your own pace, and that pace is enough. You will begin to feel gratitude, not just for the good moments, but for the painful ones that shaped you. For the nights you cried in silence, for the times you felt lost, for the strength you didn't know you had. All of it brought you here, and here is where you stand fully in your own light. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are becoming. Living for yourself means understanding that your worth is not conditional. It is not earned through suffering or sacrifice. It exists because you exist. So choose yourself every day, in small ways, in quiet ways, in brave ways. Choose rest when you are tired. Choose honesty when it is easier to lie. Choose courage when fear tells you to stay small. Live for yourself, not for others. Not because others don't matter, but because you do too, and when your time comes to look back at your life, may you do so without regret. May you recognize yourself in the choices you made. May you say with peace in your heart, I lived my truth. That is a life well lived.